Welcome to this explainer, brought to you on behalf of Teacher Development and Governance in the Boholaba District. Today, we're unpacking a highly requested guide developed by Mr. Senpodi Tonga. Our main goal here? We want to completely shift how you view the Quality Management System, or QMS. We're going to transition this from feeling like just another compliance burden into a genuinely powerful tool for your professional empowerment. So let's break down exactly how this works. Okay, let's get right into it. According to Collective Agreement No. 2 of 2020, the Quality Management System is the official performance management system for school-based educators. It was designed specifically to measure your performance in a way that actually aligns with your daily roles and responsibilities. And why does that matter? Well, because evaluating a department head using the exact same metrics as a brand new Level 1 educator just doesn't make any sense, right? By replacing the older Integrated Quality Management System, or IQMS, the new QMS aims to boost efficiency, effectiveness, and genuinely recognize the great work happening across our schools. Here is our quick roadmap for today. We've got Welcome to QMS, Roles and Responsibilities, the Term 3 cycle, Handling Leaves and Exceptions, and finally, Outputs and Pay Progression. Section 1. Welcome to QMS, Transitioning for Success. If you were around for the old IQMS, you definitely remember the absolute logistical headache of the development support group. Trying to coordinate your peers to evaluate you was tough, and honestly, it took a lot of focus away from actual teaching. Well, the streamlined QMS completely changes the game by removing the DSG entirely. Now, appraisals are placed directly into the hands of the school management team, introducing a really clean mid-year and annual appraisal process. It's much more direct, highly accountable, and it finally aligns school management directly with performance tracking. Moving on to Section 2, QMS Roles and Responsibilities. Who does what? We really need to clear up any ambiguity in the chain of appraisal right now because confusion here is a major pain point. Think of this as a very clear line of support. If you're a post-level 1 educator, your head of department is evaluating you. HODs, you report up to the deputy principal or principal. Deputy principals answer directly to the principal, and the principal is appraised by the circuit manager. This structured hierarchy makes sure everyone answers to the specific person who actually oversees their daily work. It just makes the feedback so much more relevant. Now, beyond that chain of command, everyone has very specific duties to keep this machine running smoothly. The principal has to ensure everyone has access to the QMS instruments and that it's implemented fairly. The SMT is the engine. They actually conduct the appraisals and classroom observations. As an educator, your job is to do your self-appraisal first, and then allow your supervisor to observe your lessons. And here's a really cool feature. You have the option of requesting a resource person. If you teach a highly specialized subject, you can actually bring in another educator with that specific expertise to make sure your evaluation is deeply informed. Section 3, the Term 3 cycle, your step-by-step guide. Term 3 is absolutely not an isolated event. It is the critical bridge connecting your mid-year review to your final annual summative appraisal in Term 4. Think about that mid-year review you had in Term 2. Maybe you got some feedback on improving learner engagement. Term 3 is your exact window to take that feedback, apply it in your classroom, and actively prove your professional growth before that final evaluation hits. This entire timeline is completely validated by the official requirements of the Education Labor Relations Council, the ELRC. They ensure that these evaluations adhere strictly to agreed-upon labor practices, which protects you while standardizing the whole process. Notice how the performance standards, things like creating a positive learning environment or demonstrating deep curriculum knowledge, seamlessly integrate right into the flow of your academic year. It's essentially a constant compass for your teaching. So, your crucial focus for Term 3 really boils down to just 2 actionable steps. First up is the informal self-appraisal. This is incredibly empowering because you get to control the narrative of your own growth. You evaluate your own progress since the mid-year mark before anyone else even steps in the room. Second are the lesson observations. This is where your immediate supervisor steps into your classroom to see you in action. Together, these 2 steps form a completely non-negotiable foundation for keeping your QMS cycle on track. Section 4, Handling Leaves and Exceptions, Navigating Real Life. Look, we all know school life is incredibly complex, and it rarely follows a perfect schedule. Real life happens. So, what happens if you aren't in your normal classroom environment during the typical appraisal window? What if you go on maternity leave from February to May? What if you're displaced due to unforeseen circumstances? Or hey, what if you finally get that well-deserved promotion right in the middle of the academic year? The system is actually very supportive here, but it's also firm. Let's say you go on maternity leave. Your mid-year process can actually be extended into term 3 based on that context. But every single attempt must be made to evaluate you either right before you leave or the very moment you return. And if you get a promotion mid-year, you're going to be evaluated on your new criteria. Just keep in mind you will need one full appraisal cycle at that new level before you qualify for salary progression. The whole goal is just to ensure nobody falls through the cracks. Section 5. Outputs and pay progression. The bottom line. This addresses a very frequently asked question regarding the fundamental legal agreement we all operate under. To put it simply, the employer has every right to evaluate your performance, provided there is an agreed-upon process and instrument. It is not a punitive measure, guys. It's a standard professional baseline. As long as the agreed-upon QMS framework is used, participation isn't optional. It's a core part of your professional commitment. And this brings us to exactly why completion matters so much for your livelihood. If you are not appraised before the end of the evaluation cycle or within a strict 6-month grace period after the cycle ends, you will not be eligible for pay progression. Full stop. And yes, this applies even if you had a completely valid reason, like extended leave. The evaluation simply has to be completed within that extended window. You've got to stay proactive about your own schedule. Here's a quick, surprising fact for any newly appointed post-level 1 educators tuning in. You actually have to complete 2 full cycles, from January all the way to December, before you become eligible for your very first salary progression. It takes time to build that initial track record, so getting your systems dialed in during these early Term 3 cycles is absolutely vital for your future earnings. So, knowing the rules, understanding the timeline, and seeing the very real-world impact on your pay progression, the question isn't just whether you're ready for Term 3. The real question is, are you going to treat this cycle as just another compliance checklist? Or will you use it to finally take ownership of your professional growth and command the recognition you actually deserve?